Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Pawan and in this video we are going to see my ownership review about this bike. I'm going to split this video into 4 different parts. The first part will be about the specification of this bike. The second part will be about the things which I like about this bike. The third part will be about the things which I don't like about this bike. And the fourth part will be my overall experience and overall opinion and mileage and sound note of this bike. Let's start with the first part. That is the specification of this bike. This bike comes along with 248.8cc fuel injected 4-valve liquid cooled BS6 compliant engine which can produce 29.6 bhp at 9000 rpm and 24 Nm of max torque at 7500 rpm. This also comes along with 6-speed manual transmission along with the slipper clutch. The body of the bike is steel trellis frame with bolt-on subframe along with aluminium swing arm. The front suspension is upside down forks from WP which is pretty chunky, that is 43 mm. At the rear we have WP Apex monoshock suspension. While coming to the braking department, this bike is having 320 mm disc at front with radially mounted 4-piston caliper. At the rear 230 mm disc with single piston caliper. The seat height of this bike is and the curb weight is 169 kg. Now we are entering into the second part of this video, which is the things which I like about this bike. The first and foremost thing which I love about this bike is the overall design. The design of this bike is, just look at it, how it is. Oh my god, it feels so hot. And the second part which I like about this bike is the headlight alone. The headlight is pretty decent. It is directly adapted from KTM Duke 390 which we all know, and it gives pretty good illumination at the night. So thumbs up for that. And this bike is packed along with lots and lots of electronics like ABS comes along with it. It does have almost every necessary or required electronics in it. Speedometer may look little small, but it does have all the information, required information with. It's also a nice part about this bike. And the next thing which I like about this bike is the engine character. The character of the engine is pretty unique from the other KTM lineup. At the initial RPMs you will not feel that jerk or anything like that. You can able to easily use it inside cities, and once you cross 6000 RPM the bike becomes into the beast mode. And one more thing which I like about this bike is the fuel tank range and the fuel capacity of this bike. It does come along with 13.5 liters of fuel tank in which we can able to use more than 10.5 liters if I am not wrong. So it does give pretty good tank range as well. I will mention the mileage at the fourth part of this video. It is allocated to the fourth part, so stay tuned and watch the video till the end to know what mileage I am getting from this bike before the first service. Now we are entering into the third part of this video about the things which I don't like in this bike. The first and most annoying thing about this bike is the ground clearance. Seriously guys, the ground clearance is pretty poor. The suspension is tuned for our Indian roads. It can tackle over potholes pretty well, I can say. But the ground clearance is not complementing the suspension, because at least if you are riding solo it's fine. If you are going to ride with a pillion, you have to be very careful while crossing speed breakers and all other stuff. And also for mentioning, the ground clearance is 151 mm and it does have a guard under the bike, so while hitting speed breakers, hopefully it is the one which is going to take all the hit and nothing should happen to your bike, fingers crossed. And one more thing is there which annoys me a bit. It's not a huge deal, but still it annoys me a bit. Engine heats up a lot while using inside cities. If you are on-go traffic or moving traffic, it's fine, but if you are on bumper to bumper traffic, it eats up a lot. If you are wearing jeans and shoes, you will not feel the heat that much. And the third thing which I don't like about this bike is the fit and finish of this bike. Near the tank area, the plastic panels are not fitted intact, I can say. There is so much of gap in between all around the place. While looking at the dash, I'm not getting the premium feel. While I'm spending over 2.5 lakhs on this bike, I'm not really feeling this complements that price. And the next thing which I don't like about this bike is that the gear shift are not so smooth. It does have a slipper clutch, but still over that the gear shift is pretty hard. Whenever I'm clicking from neutral to first gear, it gives a jerk and I don't really like it. And also from first to second, that gear shifts also pretty hard, even though I'm holding the clutch complete. I don't use half clutch or anything like that, but still it is not smooth, I can say. I should not mention it as it is not smooth, it is actually hard. And one more major issue I am noticing with this bike is with the clock module. I don't know what is wrong with this. I am turning it on now and I will set the time and I will off it. After 5 or 10 minutes, I will turn it on again, but it will not be showing the appropriate time. It will be start counting the time which I set before. So I don't know what is wrong with this. Let's see. After the first service, I hope it will get resolved. If not, I will update you people all. Now we are at the final stage of this video. The overall experience with this bike is pretty smooth, I can say. It does feel like a super bike. Seriously, everyone will look around you what bike it is. Some people even used to stare at you like anything at the signals and all other stuff. I do really like that part about this bike because it's a head turner. That's what I can mention about this bike in one word. My overall opinion about this bike, if you ask me, should you buy one of this? My answer will be definitely yes. Yes, you can. If you are having budget, I will definitely recommend you to go with this bike because it's an overall package. You need not to spend separately for anything. Like for example, the uniqueness of this bike is like you can use it inside cities, you can take it for highway runs, you can take it for track, you can take it everywhere except for adventure part because of that ground clearance. Let's see, in first service I will mention this problem as well. If they can resolve this, I will update you what they did, or if not, I will update that as well. Exhaust pipe, previously it used to go under your thighs and it was creating so much of heating issues. So what they did is they took the pipe underneath the bike. So that is the reason for the hit in ground clearance. Apart from that, I don't really feel there was any specific reason for them to reduce the ground clearance. They did it for a mean thing, but our Indian roads are like this. What we can able to do, we have to live with this. Now coming to the main part for which you people might be waiting for, I think it is mileage of this bike. The mileage which I am getting from this bike is somewhere around 28 to 30. Some people used to say they are getting 40 kmpl and all. I don't think it's true. And I used it in mixed condition. I took it inside cities, I took it on highway, and overall whatever I noticed, I got 29 kmpl to be precise, but for approximate I can say somewhere around 28 to 30. That's what the mileage of this bike, which is before the first service. After first service it might increase or decrease, depends on my use. Mostly it used to increase after first service. I will be doing a separate video after the first service about my service experience and my overall experience about this bike. So if you people don't want to miss any of my future updates about this bike, you can subscribe, and if you like this video, show some love in the form of likes and comments. You can also share this video with your friends who is willing to or trying to buy this bike. Until my next video, take care, see you, and ride safe. Post credit. Here is Mapu. See, this is what the problem I was speaking about. The fit and finish of the bike is not up to the mark. Can you see over here? The spacing is extremely high, and this is touching the tank, and this is not even going behind or somewhere. And here there is a huge gap. Can you see this area? There is a huge gap over here, and here also there is a huge gap. And this side of the part is having some spacing between the panel and this tank. And if you take a look over this part, it's totally intact. So the overall build, I'm not really satisfied with the way the parts are intact. Okay guys, let's see the part where I told about the gear shifts are not really smooth. It is not gear shift, it is the stand. Let's crank the bike. I warmed up the bike some time before. Yes. See, the engine is warm enough, and I'm cranking the engine on. If you take a look, I'm holding this clutch completely, and at the same time you can see the gear shift indicator over there, and I'm going to shift it into first gear. Can you see the jerk? It gave me a jerk and extremely noisy. It's in first gear guys, not second or something. Now it's in neutral. Once again. Can you see that jerk? This is what I was speaking about. Now it is on second. Let's make it neutral.